Welcome to the Seven Crosses series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we're picking up on the 1st of April 2018. And what I want to do in this part is continue working on laying out Nuclear City. We need to get the water planned, also the heating. Before that, I'd like to start with an apology in the fact that this video is a day late. And the reason for that is I got my days mixed up. I thought it was still the week, not the weekend. And therefore I didn't record this video yesterday when I should have done. So that's the reason why this video is a bit later than normal. Also, moving on, a big thank you for all comments and feedback. You guys give me so much to think about, especially the suggestion of using underground car parks for well, in cities. One, they got a very small footprint with regard to the fact they can hold up to, I think it's 32 cars here actually. And the other one is the fact that, well, they just seem to fit in better than like big spaces. And I have had quite a major problem with actually integrating the car parks into the city. So I've used quite a lot of these underground car parks. Also, I got a little bit of feedback with respect to using auto build. It's been a little bit difficult for me to use auto build because it's not normally my first option. But I have used it a fair amount through the winter because I had a few problems which I'll talk about later on. And I think also what I found with the respect to putting in the personal transport, that trying to remember where I've put all these little buildings is proving a little bit of a pain in the neck. So like, for example, here we got this underground car park here, which I don't think has been assigned. Let me just check. So what I've been doing is there's a little bit of auto building just out, so it is assigned. It's just that there's not enough workers there. Yeah, so I will be using auto build a little bit going forward, not for major buildings or new developments, but for just when I'm patching in new items. Oh, cool, we got a fire here. It's my fire crews. You can't afford to burn this down. Well, get in here. This is my major vehicle production area. Speed up a little bit. Yeah. Fire crews should be on the job. Yeah, they're going to save by vehicle production. But I'm sure if that's wiped out my thing here. Well, while we're here, seeing the game's giving me a hint, I've chosen some personal cars, and what I've done is I've chosen them not just simply for convenience. In fact, it looks a bit like we're kind of stuck in trucks up here. What I've done is I've got some VW Beetles, and I think we'll build about another. I'm not letting the game kind of build ad infinitum. The other one I've also gone for is the Gaz 6173, which actually ran out, but I just like the look of it, so we'll get some more in here like that. Now, as per suggestion, what I'm going to be doing is adding personal cars to Colville, although Colville is still yet to get its first car dealer up and running. I can find it. Can't remember. Underground car park there, but I'm not exactly sure where the car dealer is. Where did I put the car dealer? There's another underground car park there. Where's the car dealer? This is what I was saying, one of the reasons why I was kind of resorting to auto build, because it's just a little bit messy trying to find anything in here. See if I can find the up to here, filter buildings, car dealer. Yeah, we got this guy. He's not quite finished yet. We'll just let him. Actually, we'll just give him a shove. Now, I've got a question for you guys. Moving cars around, what do you feel is the best way to do it? Because I found that you can't assign distribution offices to delivering cars, and the only way I've found so far is by I don't want to dump a. Got to have at least one open hole in here somewhere. No, I've got no open holes. by an open hole unless I've got one up here. Oh no, I've got an open hole up here. I know I put them somewhere. So we'll just get an open hole, speed you down the road here. So what I've been doing is just using an open hole to send vehicles to the car dealers, but it doesn't seem to be particularly that, how can you say, efficient. So we're just going to pick you up here. I mean, so if any of you guys know a more efficient way of doing it, feel free to chuck it in the comments, because I'm finding this a little bit irritating. And we'll just drop you off there, and you can just pick up the cars and deliver them there. So I have got my personal transport up and running. One thing I have found though, guys, we zoom in here, you will see we've got our little Volkswagen Beetle here. Kind of just chugging along here. I mean, must admit, I do like these kind of Volkswagen older vehicles. So I have I'm going to be a little bit controversial here. I'm not a big fan of mod cars. They all look the same. They don't seem to have any character compared to old cars. And if we can find well, while we're here, the other thing I want to show you is I've had a few traffic jams since I've added in the private transport. So what I've had to do is start kind of putting priorities through on these junctions, and what I've had to do is like these side ones here is trying to put these on through here. So we got like one here. I don't know what the priority would be here. I certainly maybe we'll just put it that way. No, actually we'll do it that way. We'll just let the game run. We got lots and lots of vehicles here, but I think eventually we're going to fill the car parks up, which is another reason why I don't want anything to fill up. We've also got cars in here, so it's going to be Irontown, Stilton, and Colville that are going to have the vehicles, which allows them to move round. I think we have got some vehicles up in here as well. I'm trying to look for one of these little the white cars. Come on, there's got to be some up here somewhere. Oh well, when I see one I'll show it to you guys. I do really like it. Now I need to talk about winter, because if you look up in the top up here, you see our population has dropped to 76,436, and that was due to the fact that we had a pretty bad winter. And at first I thought it was due to water problems, because this was the first winter where we had water, but it actually turned out to be a couple of small problems and one major problem. The major problem was up here in Irontown, and it's been a recurring theme for some time, and that is power. If I come into here and we go up to here, what you'll see is I'm getting power overloads here when it feeds back. What I've decided to do is I'm building a geothermal power plant here, and we're rebuilding this route through here. But I want to get this all done by the winter, and then what I want to do is redo these power lines here, and then eventually disconnect this line here. So the idea is that we will build this through here, and then put I think there's a power line. No, we got a power line there, but I would like to take a power line off here up to here. But what we'll probably have to do is build that using auto build. Take out this power line, so what we have is a dedicated flow. Oh no, I suppose I could, but I really need to upgrade that. I want to get rid of this link here, and then we're building another power line here. And the idea is the solar power plant will feed into here, and also this grid line here will feed into here, and then connect up and now, whether it's this one or this one, will feed into here. So generally we're just going to tidy the whole area up a little bit, to try and just make the power supply in this area more stable, because it is becoming a real pain in the neck. And this is the area where I had the biggest loss. In fact, if I turn on the happiness, you can still see the lingering consequences. Oh, that's up to 62%, but I think this side got the worst. You can see that this is only 44% now, or 41%. And in about January, this got down to about 12%. And of course, what happens is that when it gets down really low, what you'll find is that the productivity drops, and the productivity got so low that what happened is that the people stopped getting food and clothes, and what that then caused was a kind of increasing problems, and that's where I started to lose so much population. So this is something you do need to be aware of, especially when you've got a large economy like this. Now, the second problem I had was over here, and this was due to, for some reason, despite the fact that I had hospital coverage from here, these all kept complaining that they had low health, and you can see it's still pretty low here. It's only 66% and all that. So what I did in the end is I just resorted to auto building a hospital here, just to get the health back up, because I think the health got in right down to about 30-40%, and I was losing quite a lot of people from here as well. Looks like we've still got a bit of a problem up here, but this is a new block, and I think these are all 23 24s. And if you actually look at the population there, we got this here. But you can see that the population growth is still marginal with escapees, and we're still getting quite a lot of deaths, which is a little bit of a problem. Now, the third kind of problem I had, that was over here in Ollerton, and it was this tower block here. And what this had a number of problems. One, it didn't have access to medical care. Also, it didn't have access to education. This block was filling up with very poorly educated people. So again, what I did is I just built this school here in order to be able to fix the education problem in this area. So that is the situation that we're in. I think I've managed to stabilize it, but it's not particularly that brilliant. So that is the situation, and hopefully we'll be able to grow the population back. I've taken the conscious decision not to build out any more of these existing towns for the moment, so that I can focus on now and try and keep the population stable for the moment. And while we're here, I had another problem with traffic on this road here. You can see even now at the moment it's still a little bit excessively busy. And what I had was a whole queue of covered holes here. And again, what I've done is I've kind of put the priority all the way through here. Probably this needs, because what I found by monitoring this is that if you don't set a priority, what tends to happen is that if a couple of trucks all appear at a certain point, they all stop. But when you've got a priority like this, the vehicles here just keep going through. In fact, I could probably do with getting rid of this, but actually let's just delete the road, I think. But I don't think there's no vehicles in here. And actually we can just delete this, I think. If I need to build anything here, I'm gonna use a what we call it. If we need to build anything here, we'll just use the helicopter crews. And I think the moral of the story is that when you're planning main roads like this, you need to keep all the junctions and everything to a minimum. Now, another problem I had was that I had massive traffic queues here. So what I've done is a little bit of replanning here through the winter. I've put a second cargo depot here, because what was happening is all the covered holes were queuing up here to get in to drop off the silo. We're blocking this road. And what I did is the distribution office that was here was moved over to here. And at the moment, these are just keeping everything going. I think meat-wise were pretty good. got 70 tons of meat in there. 75 tons of meat in there. Kind of, this is dropped down a little bit, but we are on May. Now I have changed these distribution offices, but when the harvest season comes round, just going to need to keep an eye on things just to make sure that the distribution works. I think that's probably enough of an intro. Let's just get up to Nuclear City, if I can find it. I think it's up here and here somewhere, isn't it? There it is there. Now in the last part we were planning all this area here, and what I'm thinking is that I need something or somewhere where I can provide I need to bring in coal for the heating, and I've been thinking about the water process, and my instinct is to use gravel water purification rather than chemicals, because I think my chemical system is pretty well overloaded at the moment. Now, so the problem, what we're going to have is we're going to have Nuclear City here. We're also going to have the new city up here, which we're going to be using to for our aluminium and aircraft production. And what I'm starting to think is that I can put in some form of distribution office here that will allow me to deliver stuff out this way. And so, but we're going to need a form of aggregate where we can get in both gravel and coal. Now, the gravel can come from, it's got to come from Knifeton. If we draw this up, it's already big. So we got a knife edge here. Now, so probably the easiest way to get the gravel up would be to come up round this way through and up to here, rather than going all the way out round that way with the railway. We've also got coal over here, which we can then bring up to over here as well. In fact, let's just check what the coal pickup is over here. Yes, we got this pickup point here, aggregate loading for coal, which is not extensively being used at the moment. So what I'm thinking is that we don't need a really fancy big junction here. What we need is something that will come up and work into this area. And I'm liking the idea of possibly having the heating plant in this area, and then the water purification over this side as well. So what I'd like to do is we need to come up through this point here. Yeah, I'd quite like putting the plant in here, and then we could put a road over and connect things up. Thank you, game. Yeah, I think that will work. So if we come here, what we're looking for is train aggregate unloading. Where is it? Oil fuel. So what we're looking at is something in this area here. In fact, if I put it, because we've got to remember that we got to, if I put this here, because we've got to remember is that we probably don't have the ability to smooth anything here. So I want a fairly long run in. If we come into say like that, and then we may get fairly long trains in here, so we'll put you there and there, and then we're going to use fire crews here, so I think we can put a gravel road through to there. I want to put a helicopter, actually, while I'm thinking about it, sorry guys. I want to put a fire station in, but we're going to put one in that is going to use the helicopters. So I think if we put a... we got the shop there. So actually, I could probably even put it in here, couldn't I? We're going to use helicopters, so we don't need a workforce in there. No, I think we can put it possibly on this corner here. So we'll put a fire station there. There's the... that connect into there. Oh, this is kind of wandering up and down a little bit, isn't it? You can get one in here, but I'd rather prefer a triple. We get that on this edge. I'm not going to build you there then. If you won't play ball, just get rid of you. Don't want to get too far away from... Let's just have a look at the terrain here. The terrain here is awful, isn't it? Well, we've got a bit of flat terrain here. Maybe we can get a fire station in here. That looks a little bit more encouraging. Reports. That's better. And then we can just curve this a little bit like that. And you can just come down into there. And then what we'll do is we'll just... don't want to go fast, I want to go to nice steady space. Speed, sorry, not space, just a hover. I'll just start building that in there. We're going to need fire coverage out here as quick as... Actually, somebody posted a comment about using the contour line more, and I have to admit I do like that idea. That my own real problem with the contour lines is when you're in a fairly dense city, so you can't actually see things that well, and it kind of blocks some of the detail. But I think it's a really good suggestion to use the contour line, especially when you're planning water. The only thing I would say is that what I would really like is possibly to have some numbers on these, so that you can possibly get the height. Maybe not every one of the thick lines, but maybe every second one, because I think if I remember correctly, it's this is 12 meters. I think it's 4 meters between each one, isn't it? Yeah, roughly. Anyway, back to our area here. So we're going to be supplying coal to 2 heating plants and also multiple water purification plants. So my instinct is to... Where's the aggregate store? No, one... That's a bit close, so maybe... Where's the road? The road is there. We have... Now we're going to need pickup points as well, so I think if we put in one there, you that way to save a little bit of... we can have like 2 of them like that. One will be gravel, one will be coal. Game work. In theory, this only needs to be gravel because this is just going to be for the coverage there. And then what we're going to need is pickup points. We'll find the pickup points now. Don't think maybe if we just kind of put this in like that for this pickup point. Maybe we'll just go really super short like that, and then do the same on this side, because we could have a lot of trucks coming in and out picking up the gravel and coal, so we don't really want I think we trade you. And what we need to do now is just get in the conveyors, mods, Northern Tower construction, conveyor pipelines. Right, that one will go to there, but I think I'd rather get rid of you. So that would be that one there. Problem we're going to have now is, oh, we can get that in there, so that's pretty good. We got that connection there. Put you about there, and we can put the footpath in that, set that, and then we're gonna put a road connection into this one. About to say this is where it all goes a little bit wrong, but it's okay to be okay. So we've now got the ability to get coal and gravel up to here for our various enterprises. So we've got that there. What we have to do is decide where we're going to put the heating plant. Actually, what we probably do need to do first is see what the water quality is. Got 4% over here, 5%, 4%. So the water quality is pretty good. This is not quite so good because it's near the fields. For some reason, the fields cause pollution, but then that could be due to agrochemicals. I think my instinct is to have the main heating plant up here. So if we make this into coal, and then we could kind of feed the heating down into this area, and that. So what we'll do is, where's the heating? There it is. Where? I mean, I could do away with this. Well, we're still gonna need a pickup for the. Oh, that's something I could do, isn't it? Okay, we can have a bit of a change here. So we're going to put the heating plant for here. Then we'll just get rid of you. And get rid of you. That. What we'll do is put in a. We need a splitter. Can get that in there. We can put you on this side, just like that. That will give us a direct connection to the and take out this footpath here. That didn't connect, did it? You can be very annoying sometimes, game. Okay, change again. Sorry, just have to get rid of you. Get rid of that. It's the footpaths that messed us up. So what we'll do is take 2. What we'll do is we'll put you out like that. Then we can put in the unloading again in here. That gives us a direct connection to this heating plant. And then we can do is put the truck loading back in again. Something like that. And if so that gives us that connection there. And what I can do is tidy this road up a little bit. It's only a gravel road anyway, so it shouldn't be that much of a problem. This can just come into there. I mean, if I really wanted to be a bit kind of eccentric, I could quite easily run a massive conveyor from here to ship the coal, but I don't think that's going to be that necessary. So we've now got a heating plant here. I think what I do need to do is plan. Now we can't, that means that our city is going to be kind of below this line here, because we need a certain amount of distance from the heating plant, although we could probably put some kind of utility buildings on this side. We got most of the people will feed into here. We can come out this way a little bit. Now we're going to need workers into the heating plant and our what we call it. So I think what I will do is we're probably going to have the water purification. So what we'll probably do is there'll be quite some distance from there. So what I come into here, bus stop, put a road in, put a bus stop there. That will pick up the workers to go to there. So we got that there. We got this here. We don't need a bus platform here because we want all our workers to go into this area like that. We got school. I think I'd like a hospital bang in the center. We'll put the hospital in as well. And we'll just keep this into a little crossroads here. So we'll put hospital in the town center here as well. And I think that kind of sets the scale for the heating plant. And we want a heat exchanger. I think my instinct is to have, say, a heating plant on this side. It'd actually be quite nice if we could. How far out would you go? We could put a heating plant, say, about here, like that. Maybe a little bit, say, maybe a little bit further south, like that. Problem's going to be is the distance. Right? No, we're not that far away. So I put one heating like that. Possibly another one. Just like to. You can cover that, so I put another one just on the kind of extreme there. You can come in there. Again, another lesson I'm learning from traffic management is keep the numbers of junctions. Don't put in arbitrary junctions. Try and have crossroads. So do there. We're going to have a big underground pipe. Put one into there. Run you there. We'll just accept that. What that will mean is that we've got kind of cross heating there with options to put a third heating plant directly in the center. Right. Next question is, where are we going to put the water purification plants? Actually, the bigger question is, do we put in a main pump, or do we put in another pump? So, I mean, what we got here, we got the fire station here, and we could put a workforce in here. What is the... I'm just starting to think, if I put in... This is 5%. But it's got a little bit of... I can push this back here. This is 4%. What is this? This is 5%. This is 5%. I'm kind of liking the idea of having a water well here. Now, I know I said I wasn't going to put in a fire crew, but what we could do is mix the two together here. I think if we can get that right back, I mean, that's a good 5%. We shouldn't get much pollution from the fire station, and what we can do is put a bus platform there. That will... could be a little bit tricky here. Thank you, game. That will give us the primary water well, and we want... and I don't really want too much in the way of water distribution, so so I think what we're going to do is try and put the water treatment plant here. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time putting in... no, nearly made a mistake. We've got this, it produces 132, this produces 60. So what we're going to need, we would bring... Actually, what we could do is we could run the pipe up to here with pressure pumps. So this needs 132. We got the possibility of the gravel coming down to here to here, so I think this might be a good kind of compromise with respect to where our water purification is, and that this would, yeah, I think we can work it if we put this in, say, about there. Actually, I'm going to put 2 in. I don't think we can just rotate. What we're going to do is put 2 water treatment plants in, so we can plan the excess capacity. Again, what we're going to need to do is put a... These guys are going to have to deliver, aren't they? Actually, we're not going to be that far away from an area here, so people could probably walk there. I think that will work, so we'll put that there. We got that little bit there. We got the well here. Now the well produces big well. This produces 215. This produces 132 each. So what we would need to do to get water this way, we would have to put a large pumping station. Put the pumping station out here. Underground. Definitely a big pipe, isn't it? Yep. Probably. And then we'll run you all the way up to. I don't want it to kind of kink like that. And then, if necessary, we can run actually cancel. Do it again. Sorry about this. Work, run. You can run to there. You can run all the way up here like this. And what I want to do is under here, go there and go into that one there. And then I think I will put the second pump in. I'll put a second 132. Now I think what we're going to do is to begin with the difficult call. I think I'm going to live with the overpressure. So we put a second large pump here. We're going to come here. I mean, there's a possibility that we may not actually build all this, but so we're just going to accept that. So what that does is give us the primary supply system. Now the next question is where we're going to dump the sewage. I think I'd rather, because we've got Nuclear Island here and the place is probably going to be glowing in the dark anyway, I think we'll put the we'll put a sewage. You have to kind of just that area there, the height here, 5.72. This is 4.13. This is 10. That's the highest point. So we're going to need to work out how our sewage distribution is, but we're going to need to integrate that around our general planning. Let's have a bit of a recap. We've got in the supply of coal and gravel for the heating and water purification. We've got beginning of our heating plant in. We've got a store here. We've got the hospital opposite. We really want the accommodation in this area. So that we can, I mean, I could curve the accommodation round back of the building here. Just put in some accommodation now, just that I can get a feel for how the town will come together. I've been thinking a little bit about what I want accommodation wise. There's part of me wants to have a fairly tight city centre. So like we got this building here that's 430 workers, than this one here, but I would just like to take a look at maybe some other options. We got this one here, 138. This one's 307. Got this one here. Wow. I just fancy looking for something a little bit different. And we got this one here. I think I've used these as well, although I can't remember now. Actually quite like those buildings. Let's have a look what else I've got in here. I've got so much buildings. In fact, somebody posted a comment suggesting that some of the lag I've been getting has been due to the my number of mods I've got. And I must admit, I do have way too many mods. But the problem is trying to sort your mod list out is, you can say, what's the best way to describe it? At best, you could say it's tedious. At worst, you can say it's a real pain in the neck. And I do occasionally have a tidy up from time to time, but the real problem is that when you're trying to tidy up, they've got mid-rise. I don't think I've ever built one of these. That looks pretty impressive. And probably we're right on the edge of there. And the only way you can tell that you've got a mod that you might want to get rid of is by going and checking. I think to get the town started, I really do like this block here, but it's quite kind of dominating. I think what we could do is put that about. Going to drop down pretty horribly, isn't it? But I think it'd be okay. We can run a footpath around here. I need some smaller buildings for an initial build. We got here. These are mid-rise council houses. Did I use these in? I don't think I did actually. Oh, that actually brings back a little bit of a memory for me. For a little while, I actually lived in Portsmouth, and I actually lived in a block that looked very similar to that. So I think we're going to just put you in. Maybe we'll just drop you in about there. Actually, we could put a couple in. We'll just put 1, 2 like that. So these will be for our key workers. This will be for the workers that are going to work in the nuclear power plant. This will probably won't let me go up there, but that's okay. Cancel that. This can come across and hook up there. That. And you really need to come across that front piece there. So we need to put something in here, accommodation wise. Got a panel house here. Oh, that could put a couple of these in, just to kind of ring the changes a little bit. I think if we can put you just about there. We're worried about that dip again. You put a second kind of panel house, slightly staggered like that. Be back a bit like that, and we can put the footpath. Actually, we hook you up to be nice. You can come through the center and come down there. You can have a hook there and probably hook you across like that. We're just kind of creating a bit of a grid effect there. I know that we could put more houses here connected with footpaths, possibly with a road across into this area. We can put more behind that, but I think that is a beginning of what we want to do. I think I would like to put in a university. I think we're going to kind of come off this spiral here. I don't really want a big university town, so I think what we'll do is we'll drop back on my all-time favorite, which is the Lenin Technical. I think we can just drop you next to, probably just stick you in about there. And of course, education-wise, we've got quite a big block here with lots of education here. So we're going to need kindergartens. We're going to need schools. I think that's probably a bit over the top. That's kind of not really in keeping. What we got here? This is 40. Something a little bit bigger than that. 156. I think this is one that I've used in the past. Actually, we could probably put you about there, couldn't we? Just like that. Then we can take the road out this way, because it's really just a fire road. That gives us the school on this side. I mean, what we could probably do is push out and have a school on the other side. We just need a kindergarten now. So, okay, we'll just go modest. Oh, 480. It's probably a bit big. It's quite strange that we got a really big one with 480, and we got this one that's got space for 600. I think what we're going to do is, due to the space limitations, we will just put a, actually could we get that in that corner there? Look at that, that's awesome. So if we put you there, I know it's cheating a little bit, but you can hook onto that corner there. And what we could probably do is, and what that should do is, once we got another dwelling here, that should more than cover this side of the city. And yeah, we got that's a tight corner, isn't it? We can't do much about that, because I don't think this will. We're gonna, yeah, a little bit. Oh, we might just be able to get the path up there. That means that these got road connections, so that's okay. I'm aware time is pushing on now, so what I'm going to do is just have a little bit of a run round and see how things are going. Check my rail construction offices. This is getting there, so we've nearly got this connection here, so we're going to really need to try and get all this together as quickly as possible so that we can get our nuclear power plant fired up. Anyway, let's just go and check my rail construction offices. How things go. Well, we're actually nearly back to 78,000 as well. We got over 1,000 million again. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you're working on that area there, which means I need these guys here. What are you working on? We're gonna need you getting that being built. Gonna need to electrify this through as quickly as possible. Train waiting too long. Probably over here. Probably means that we've got a signaling problem here. Probably because of the connection there. We just see. Yeah. This guy's looking from the opposite side. Yeah, we just. That should. What are you working on then? Oh, one's working on one bit there, one's working on that bit there. Never seen that before. Never mind. I'm quite happy with that actually, because the more you guys work in this way, work in that direction, the better. Although I don't think I've electrified this line yet, so I'm going to need to do a little bit of work on electrification. Actually, let's just get over and see what my rail construction crew over here is doing. Where are you? Probably not very much actually. You're actually working on this bridge. I think this, we're actually going to suspend that job. I think I'd rather have you guys working on. Okay, I think we're cancel that as well. Let's trace all this back. We got electrification as far as here. So just get you there. That's electrified. That's electrified. Where's the... Oh, there it is. It starts here. Going to... hit you. Thank you, game. What I want is a lot of track out here that doesn't have any power connectors, which is a little bit worrying. We may have to look at putting in a power transformer out here. There's way too much track out here with no power connection. Something I'm going to need to look at. And do this last couple of sections. Where's the nearest power transformer? I'm a little bit concerned about that. Block on the line here. I want to take a quick look at this. We're just going to have to build this in again. I always get very suspicious. Yeah, we're gonna have to put a power transformer out here. This is way too long. Have no power supply in the center. Yeah. One here. Really do with one in the middle out here, but I'll just have to have a look at that, guys. Where was the... I've got that one connected. I think I've still got to do a little bit of work over here. We'll just get into... We don't need that connector anymore. Don't think this is finished yet. Oh, the thing, what I've done out here is put a gravel depot over here so that we can bring in the water purification for gravel over here as well. I think I need to sort out my rail construction offices, do a bit of electrification. I just want to check to see if this, yeah, it looks very much like this is finished. We just need to do these crossovers. Just very quickly sign these. Again, I don't think it's been fully electrified, so where am I? Just come in here, go all the way out to the border. So I'm just going to need to take a very good look at you. Find both of those. Probably cause a bit of confusion with my trucks, but trains. But again, I'm not sure that this has been fully electrified as well, although technically I don't need to electrify this section because we're going to have a steam train running on this, and this is not really something I'm going to need to do exports with, so that might be something that I need to consider going forward, because what we're probably going to, we need to build in this little bit here as well. And of course, the main focus in the next part will be trying to get Nuclear Town up and running, because we're going to need that extra power to drive our whole process. But until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.